Hi all, I'm Priya Sathy, Director of Product for Synapse Data Warehouse. I'm super excited to be here at Build and announce the launch of Synapse Data Warehouse in Microsoft Fabric. In the next 30 minutes, I will be talking about the key capabilities of this next generation data warehouse. I have some exciting demos, and you will also hear from some of our customers and partners who have been working closely with us from the get-go and our early adopters. Let me start with an overview of Microsoft Fabric in case you missed Arun Ulag's breakout session announcing the launch of Microsoft Fabric. Microsoft Fabric accelerates data potential for the era for AI. Fabric provides a unified intelligent data foundation for all analytics workloads and integrates Power BI, Data Factory, and the next generation of Synapse to offer customers a price-performant and easy-to-manage modern analytics solution. Every analytics workload works seamlessly with one leg to minimize data management time and effort by eliminating data movement and duplication. Fabric reduces the pain of integration and facilitates better collaboration with a solution that makes it easy to connect and use different analytics tools your team needs. It is open at every layer with no proprietary lock-ins. Fabric empowers business users with deeply integrated Microsoft Office and Teams experiences. And it delivers AI copilots to accelerate analytics productivity, discover insights, and enable you to create custom ChatGPT solutions with your data. Now, let's talk about Synapse Data Warehouse in Fabric. Synapse Data Warehouse is infinitely scalable and open. We adopted an open data lake format of Delta Parquet, replacing the traditional native SQL storage. And bear in mind, it is still a transactional data warehouse, but it's the first transactional data warehouse natively embracing such an open standard data format. The warehouse is fully integrated with all Fabric workloads right out of the box. It is auto-optimized as well, so you don't need to hire a team of deeply skilled engineers to constantly change configurations to manage your performance to meet your business SLAs. All of this while you get full benefits of the SQL ecosystem. Secondly, under the covers, we've replaced dedicated clusters with serverless compute infrastructure. There is absolutely no physical provisioning or setup required at all. When a job comes in, we assign compute resources within milliseconds. As data volume or query demands change, we automatically scale up compute to meet that demand. Resources are pooled, hence, we provide significant efficiencies and also pricing. Let's walk through the key capabilities of Synapse Data Warehouse in Fabric. The data warehouse is based on our world-class SQL Server and is built on our established SQL Server Query Optimizer and the distributed query processing engine, giving you petabyte-scale performance. This was benchmarked back in 2020. Now, I'll summarize the key capabilities in this generation across these three pillars. It comes with simple and intuitive experiences. It is fully integrated with Data Factory, Synapse Spark, and Power BI, catering to the needs of both the citizen developer and the professional engineers. You can build virtual warehouses by creating shortcuts to your data anywhere in the lake, even cross clouds. Data becomes instantly queryable, and you can cross-join across warehouses with ease. Data Warehouse also comes with an automatically generated Power BI semantic layer that is dynamically optimized for the best performance and security. Next pillar, Synapse Data Warehouse is lake-centric transactional data warehouse. Data ingested through the warehouse is stored in Fabric's OneLake in open Delta Parquet format, making it accessible by any compute engine that reads this standard. You still get full ACID multi-table transactional guarantees, just as you'd expect from a data warehouse. We just changed the storage. There is no knobs required to be tweaked to get the right performance. The data warehouse is provisioned and optimized for performing at any scale right out of the box. Data can also be recovered in just a few clicks. Third pillar, Synapse Data Warehouse is also an enterprise-ready platform, just like all Fabric workloads. You get end-to-end performance and cost visibility out of the box. It is always governed via integration with Purview and has ability to view lineage, apply sensitivity labels, ensuring your data is protected and can only be viewed by the right users in your organization. Data Warehouse is also secure by default and comes with SQL security constructs such as object-level security, role-level security that users have come to love and trust. Let me show you a demo of how easy it is to get started and build your own Synapse Data Warehouse. In this demo, I'm going to walk you through the capabilities of Synapse Data Warehouse and show you how we embody no-code experiences, full-stack integration, and automation. Here I am in the Data Warehouse homepage in Fabric, where I'm presented with samples and tutorials to get started with. I start by clicking on New Warehouse Artifact by simply giving it a name and choosing a sensitivity label. This sensitivity label is automatically applied to any downstream artifact using the data warehouse. A warehouse is immediately provisioned for me with no additional setup required on my part. I see a familiar, intuitive relational database experience and can start by writing code or creating a new data pipeline that's fully integrated right here. The pipeline experience is a no-code experience as well, and I'm presented with several connector options. I connect to my SQL database application source. I can view the data in the tables. I pick the exact tables that I want to bring into my data warehouse. My destination is already pre-populated. So are the data mappings for all of the tables. This is all just automatic. That's all I had to do. I save my pipeline and run it. I can monitor its progress right here. When I go back to the warehouse, I see my tables are automatically created for me. Synapse Data Warehouse gives me a few options to analyze data and write queries. I can filter data in the tables without writing any code. I can also use any of the pre-built templates, such as this one, to right-click and get my top 100 rows. I can also use the T-SQL query editor, which comes with full IntelliSense, and I can write my own T-SQL queries. The results of the queries can be downloaded to Excel as well in just a click. Data Warehouse also comes with a visual query editor. I can just drag and drop tables into the canvas, and I can do complex joins with just a few clicks, selecting the right tables and the right columns without writing a single line of code. Now, not only can I see the results, but I can also view the SQL, and I can edit it further as well. Now I can add other warehouses into this very same experience with zero data movement. I just go ahead and pick the warehouses that I have access to. And right here within the Object Explorer, I can see the secondary warehouses as well. I can go ahead and look at the data in the tables. I can also drag drop tables and create queries just like I did previously. So with just a few clicks, I've been able to add an additional warehouse to create a single virtual warehouse and span queries across the two, creating one query by cross-joining with a second, all without any data movement. Now, right here in the model view, I can get my data warehouse BI ready with the integrated Power BI experience. I can look at the relationships between tables that are automatically detected, or I can even create my own relationships to ensure the BI report is performant. I can also add new measures, which are key business metrics or semantics. Every data warehouse ships with a default dataset that is automatically kept in sync with the warehouse and self-tunes. Now with one click, I can create a Power BI report. I can see my tables. I can even see all the fields and the measure that I had just created. I can see my table has 29 million rows, and I can just start dragging and dropping fields and creating Power BI reports just like I normally would. Now back in my workspace, I can see my entire project is ready with the warehouse, pipeline, Power BI dataset, and report, and I can view its lineage end to end. In summary, I was able to create a warehouse, load and transform data with a pipeline, cross-join with another warehouse with zero data movement, and create a Power BI report with no additional integration required at all. And all of this without writing any code and all under 5 minutes. This level of simplicity and full stack integration is benefiting all our customers. I want you to hear directly from one of our customers who has been using the product. Here's Bobby Azarbad from Aon Corporation.
Thanks, Priya. Hello, all. My name is Bobby Azarbad from Aon Corporation. I lead our data services team at Aon Reinsurance. I'm also the chair for our reinsurance architecture practice group. Warehousing is pretty central to what we do at Aon. With Fabric Data Warehouse, there are two key challenges we are looking to simplify. The first challenge is around complexity. Currently, we leverage multiple PaaS and IaaS services in Azure, such as Azure Synapse dedicated SQL pools, Azure Data Factory, analysis services, Azure SQL, among many others. These services integrate with a host of other tools, including Tableau, Snowflake, Databricks, Excel, and others. The second challenge is around minimizing data duplication. With an ever-growing suite of data products, data is often copied from source to target to fuel the effort while providing autonomy for developers. The growth of data replication with PaaS services is becoming exponentially inefficient, leading to multiple points of failure and performance implications. We have created an end-to-end solution in Fabric. It took just a couple minutes to spin up the warehouse, ingesting more than 250 million records using pipelines and applying business logic leveraging stored procedures that leverage database queries across both the transactional warehouse and the lakehouse. It was great to see the direct lake mode in action too, combining the performance of import with the agility of direct query. Overall, we were really excited about how Fabric Data Warehouse provides simplicity and reduces data duplication. On simplicity, through a SaaS-based data warehouse, invisible barriers between PaaS and IaaS solutions simplify, which reduces our complexity challenges from before and provides a simple and intuitive warehouse experience. This allows our development teams to solution with less overhead and greater collaboration. On data duplication, we are minimizing data duplication in 3 key ways. First, using Lakehouse SQL endpoint in cases where we just need to use SQL as the serving layer. Second, we are leveraging direct lake mode, which avoids importing data directly into Power BI. Third, the data is written in the same Open Parquet Delta format, which means that all other analytical engines can also read the same data without any data movement. Thanks to this time saved, we'll be able to place more effort in evolving AI and NLP capabilities that are being integrated within Fabric. Back to you, Priya.
Now that you've seen the experiences, let me go behind the hood and explain how we achieved no knobs performance. As you saw, the performance was by default. without the need to specify workload groups, distributions, indexes, or set up any other configurations. The secret sauce is our well-established SQL Server Query Optimizer and the distributed query processor, the only engine with a petabyte scale benchmark published in 2020. We also implemented autonomous workload management, multi-tiered caching, and automatic generation of statistics, making the query plan produced to be optimal with number of nodes required to execute each step in the plan. All of this put together, you get world-class performance. Now let me show you how we store the data in the Fabric OneLake in the Open Delta format, making the warehouse-managed files easily shareable with data scientists in the organization. In the last demo, I created a Synapse data warehouse and ingested data. The Warehouse SQL engine provides full transactional guarantees. Data loaded into the warehouse is stored in open format of Delta Parquet in OneLake. Let's take a look. I have installed OneLake Explorer on my desktop, which is just like OneDrive, giving me full visibility into all files I have access to in the Fabric OneLake. It's an intuitive namespace hierarchy. Expanding my workspace, I see my warehouse. Expanding further, I see my schema and the tables I'd created and loaded data into. For each of the tables, I see their Delta logs and data stored as Parquet files. Now let me show you how easy it is for me to add a shortcut to this warehouse into a lakehouse, enabling me to collaborate with data scientists in my organization. Back in my workspace, I start off by creating a brand new lakehouse. I start by just giving it a name. This creates a lakehouse for me immediately. I go ahead and click on New Shortcut and choose OneLake as my shortcut source. I find my warehouse. Clicking Next, I see all the tables that I have access to in the warehouse. I pick the aggregate sales table, and that's it. When I refresh my lakehouse, I now see the warehouse managed aggregate sales table is accessible. Here, it's just a simple shortcut. There's no data movement at all. I can now go ahead and spin up a new notebook and start using this table in my code, build machine learning models, and see my results right away. That was just so easy to collaborate. I did not have to create pipelines, duplicate my data, write transforms, or make any copies. You've seen how the data warehouse embraces open data formats and enables collaboration between the various roles in the organization. I want to share with you how partners like Hitachi Solutions are already adopting Data Warehouse and Fabric and driving benefits for their customers. Here is Simon Nuss from Hitachi Solutions.
Thank you, Priya. Hello, everyone. My name is Simon Nuss. And when I'm not leading a team of data and analytics consultants here at Hitachi Solutions, you'll find me moderating the Power BI subreddit, one of the largest and most amazing communities of data experts. As a leader in the Power BI and Synapse space, our team was delighted to lend our expertise and help bring the Microsoft Fabric vision to life. Along this journey, we've deployed countless Microsoft Fabric projects, such as real-time streaming, AI ML experiments, exploring OneLake, and of course, implementing many Microsoft Fabric data warehouses for our customers. And I'm delighted to share one of these stories with you today. Hussmann is a US-based company that provides display merchandising and refrigeration services for food retailers. Being a leader in this space, Hussmann has data-intensive demands that Microsoft Fabric is uniquely positioned to meet. And our team of data engineers worked with the Hussmann team to migrate their entire data warehouse from Azure Synapse into the Microsoft Fabric data warehouse to test its new features. I'm excited to share that within a few short weeks, we successfully migrated pipelines for 250 tables covering 9 subject areas, such as sales, distributions, and project management. We were shocked at how easy everything was. It just worked. But it was more than a migration. The new data warehouse experience unlocked an array of net new capabilities, such as performance by default, allowing the Hussman team to operate their data warehouse without the complexities of indexing or table distributions. Second were Delta Lake-backed SQL tables, providing native interop with Spark. No data movement required. This lakehouse design means that your database is your data lake. So without any changes, the most advanced AI ML Spark capabilities were delivered directly into the hands of the Hussman BI team. Third, performant cross-database queries. They are an absolute game changer, allowing Hussman to move away from traditional monolithic data warehouse patterns and explore modern paradigms such as data mesh. And lastly, the Microsoft Fabric Data Warehouse seamlessly integrates Power BI features, such as defining relationships and creating measures, all within a single pane of glass. Throughout this whole adventure, one thing became very clear. Microsoft Fabric Data Warehouse unlocks a vast array of new capabilities to action your data faster, better, and cheaper than ever before. I hope you're as excited as I am to try out these new features. Back to you, Priya.
If you are an existing Synapse customer using dedicated SQL pools, you're likely wondering about the migration from Gen 2 to Fabric Data Warehouse. Let me give you a sneak peek into some of the key capabilities in our roadmap that'll land in the future. In the future, you'll be able to link your existing Gen 2 databases into Data Warehouse and Fabric with just one click. A near real-time replica is automatically generated and maintained, giving you a healthy isolation between data management capabilities in Gen 2 and consumption in Fabric. Replicated data is automatically converted to Delta Parquet, and hence it is easily queryable from the rest of Fabric, including Spark and Power BI. Let's take a look. I'm back in my Data Warehouse homepage. Here, I can link a dedicated SQL pool. Clicking on this brings up all the Synapse dedicated SQL pools that I have access to. I choose the one that I want, and that's it. This kicks off the replication process, and all the objects I selected are replicated. These are kept up to date in near real time. Once it's done, I can see that my data is available in Fabric. I can start and cross-join my Gen 2 database with other warehouses and lakehouses that I have in Fabric using three-part naming. My citizen developers can also use the visual query editor to build queries without writing any code. In addition to this, the Data Warehouse editor is integrated with Copilot. I can use this to convert my Gen 2 code to Fabric code that can then be executed in just a click. I can create relationships between tables and build Power BI-ready performant data models so that my users can build their reports. I have several applications that connect to my Gen 2 database. When I'm ready, I can enable server redirection. And with this, all connections going to Gen 2 are automatically redirected to my Synapse Data Warehouse in Fabric without me having to do anything. This way, I can migrate all my data, code, and applications one step at a time as I'm ready. And all my applications and reports will continue to work in Fabric as they did with Gen 2. Well, that's it, folks. Super excited to have made available to you Synapse Data Warehouse in Microsoft Fabric. I gave you a whirlwind tour of some amazing new capabilities that I have shipped with this world-class transactional data warehouse, including separation of storage and compute, simplified experiences, cross-database querying, auto-scaling, and so much more. I hope these will help you easily build your next-generation data warehouse and modernize your data estate to get insights from your data and take action. You can get started with our documentation. We have details on all the capabilities I just talked about, and so much more. We also have our 6-month roadmap published. There's no purchasing involved. You can start easily with a free trial today at fabric.microsoft.com. With this, I'd like to thank you for watching this session, and I will see you next time. Thank you.